Another video for you guys for a few reasons, for the sake of it, and also a thank you to Aaron over at Aaron's Engineering for sending me over a few new subscribers. I've gone up and visited him finally after about nearly a year, I suppose it would be now. Keep promising to go up and see him, possibly even longer. Dropped off a few goodies for him that he's shown in the video. And it was good just to go, having a good excuse to go for a ride on my bike too, which is getting less and less these days, but slowly getting better with my workload and being a one-man show, I suppose you could say, trying to do everything myself and just having time. But anyway, I just sort of bring you on this machine. It's something that's on my channel anyway, but just sort of go around and just show those guys who are new to my channel what sort of things I get up to. And I thought this might be an opportune time to do those few things, to thank you and give you guys something to look at. But not go into it too much. There's a few videos there on my channel anyway. So, but I'll just go for a quick walk around and just show you the sort of things that are happening with it so far. It's my mission, I suppose, as I always refer to it as, my Mazak mission, or the CNC lathe rebuild. I brought it second hand. It's a 1990 model QT15 for those who are interested. It was green, as you can probably see down the bottom there. There's not much green left of it now. Most of it's changed over to this new colour that looks a bit more presentable. A little bit dusty now from sitting here. But that'll be the last thing, as I say. The green corner tank will be the last thing. Just a few other small pieces to do. I'll just throw in together and get them all powder coat at one time. Just a bit more economical to get everything done at one time when you get things sandblasted and powder coated. Taking the whole base down to nothing. A few videos there. Explaining a little bit more of that for those who are interested. I'll give a bit of breakdown of the whole thing, right way down to the base, where it's down to its green base and painting and so forth. And I'll talk a bit about it for those who are interested about the more mechanical sides of the rebuild. There's plenty of information there and multiple videos for you guys to watch for those who might be interested. Replaced a fair bit of things on it, seals and bolts and things like that. All sorts of random things that you probably wouldn't even think to replace. I always get a bit carried away with things, but as a very serious clean, I suppose you could call it, including paint and powder coat. There's a panel missing out of here thanks to my powder coat. I took this with multiple parts that I took over to him to get blasted in powder coat, and I left it sitting there too long. And I didn't chase it up, I should say. I picked up the parts, but I didn't realise it was missing. I went back about a month later trying to find the door off here, but they lost it apparently. I don't know how you lose a panel that size. You can sort of see the size of that compared to my hand. It's not small, so I have to make up a new panel. But he looked after me on another job, so what's done is done now. So it's just an entry door to get into the tailstock. You've got some settings you can adjust on here because there's a programmable tailstock. Just take you up to the controller. I don't have a monitor. Oh, I do have a monitor in there, but you can't see it. There's a, what they call, I'm pretty sure it's right what I'm saying, CRT monitor. The old style monitors, like your colour TVs, like the curved screen. I'll possibly look at changing that to a flat screen. I'll just put that in for now. And just keep a rag over the top of it just so nothing hits the glass, because it normally has a protective cover that sits over the front here. Like everything else, replaced as much as I can. I just seem to throw money and time at this machine. Would have been probably better and cheaper to buy a brand new one, but I'll get into that a little bit later why I bought this machine. Powder coated everything as normal. Had a local company that specialises in metal screen printing to redo all the writing. This is the original keypad. I was managed to be able to clean it up, which was good. It was pretty expensive to buy a replacement part from Mazak. All the buttons that are on here are pretty much been replaced except for probably a few of them. This is one of them. These two buttons, the keys up here and that toggle switch. Otherwise, everything else has been replaced. All genuine Mazak parts, not maybe directly from Mazak, but Mitsubishi or whoever else makes parts for them. These buttons here are all from Japan, so it's managed to be able to track down through part numbers. A lot of research and looking online. It's very tedious sort of work, but I suppose it's no different to restoring an old car. You'll see a little bit of my workshop as we're walking our way around, but we'll probably look at doing a video when I finally get Aaron down here. I've been up to visit him, and he will possibly come down here and we'll do a bit of a workshop video possibly. He might look at doing something like that, and we'll see how that one goes. He might put it up on his channel over on Aaron's Engineering. Just bring you around the back now. There's a little bit of a mess in there because I've sort of placed things as I'm working on them, and and get sidetracked doing other jobs. Just a lot of cleaning, like brass parts and things like that. It's just gone crazy, basically, like a real serious detail. Some things have been replaced, especially bearing seals, a few bolts and things like that. Anything that I thought needs to be replaced, I have. Everything's just had a serious clean. Sort of put my finger in the camera there then. But as I say, there's a fair bit there for those guys who are interested. The green coolant tank down the bottom there. The electrical cabinet I won't worry about showing you inside. You guys know that CCR engineering thing with the, if you're over on Aaron's channel, when I went to visit him, he got a shot of my logo of my shirt that I was wearing. Have to excuse the junk up there. Any flat surface becomes a storage area when you've got a flat surface in any garage or workshop, as most of you know. But just going through the electrical cabinet, I won't go about showing you, and there is a bit in the video. I will take the cover off here and just give you a bit of a look in the back end of it. I've replaced some hydraulic hoses pretty much the last couple of weeks ago, so it's sort of little jobs that I'm doing. So I'll just pop the cover off and give you a bit of a look in there. Hopefully the camera will get a bit of light in. I won't worry about putting the light in there. I'll probably get it too bright for the camera anyway, but just going through and just give it a very serious clean. You can imagine everything in here in that green colour, which I've never liked anyway. It was ironic that I finished up exactly the same machine I learnt on when I first started out in machining, when I was doing manual machining, but where I was working at one shop, I was working at, they bought a brand new Mazak in 1990, and this was, well, it wasn't this machine, but it was pretty much exactly the same machine, green as well as this one, because it was a bit tidier than this one because it was brand new. And I got to be the first one to be trained on it, so that was pretty good. I still have all my paperwork from the original training with John Hart, still somewhere around, but they're the dealer for in Australia anyway. So that's a bit of backstory about how I came to sort of love Mazaks. I suppose that was the first sort of contact I had with CNC machines. And yeah, everyone has their brand of machine that they prefer, but yeah, I like the Mazak brand. And when I had the opportunity to buy another machine, it's sort of like this is one I looked around for. So I didn't get it for the best price, as I've probably mentioned in other videos, but it is what it is, and just doing the work that I can to do on it when I have time and time and money. So probably more time than money, but I'm just buying things from time to time. So all these sort of things like hydraulic hoses and cooling fans, most things have just gone through and powder coated, just brackets and bolts, and just redoing the electrics, just giving a good tidy up, the electrical cables and things like that. I think I've shown you a little bit in those other videos. It's a little while now since I've posted those videos, so I can't remember everything that's in there, but that's the main workings, I suppose you could say. This is through to your hollow bore, through to your chuck at LRM, which is not on there at the moment, but I will be doing more videos on here that I can think of, anything that's interesting. You can see the ZXS servo motor there. That drives the tool turret towards the lathe chuck, so it's a very decent sized unit. And you're seeing the X1 around the other side there, 20 horsepower spindle motor. Just giving you a good clean. That there's a video in there of that motor anyway. Got a bit distracted then because I got an SMS from a customer. So I've gone through and cleaned that motor out. It was full of rubbish. Just that's all I've done with it really. It's just gone through and just cleaned everything up. Just everything's just been pulled apart, cleaned, replaced, whatever I need to do. If I thought it wasn't good enough, I've just replaced it. Especially cooling fans, they're not worth mucking around with. I just replaced a fair few of those. I think there's about a dozen of them on this machine. I've replaced, I think, around about 7 or 8 of them. So not easy things to get hold of, and when you can find them, not the cheapest things there. You can't buy the computer ones. They don't, the ones that people recommend buying, maybe ones you can buy for a computer, things like that. They're normally just the Chinese copies anyway. These are usually European or Japanese ones. This one was a genuine Mazak part, but not made by Mazak, as with anything. But that gives you a bit of an overall look of it. Why I bought this machine, like most of us, we don't have the money to buy everything that we wish for, and I always assumed I'd just keep that green colour and just give it a good tidy up. But as I started pulling more parts off, I just started it just took me over. It just became like a full restoration, which is pretty much how it's gone. So replaced some panels and things like that, which I'll show in future videos anyway. There's still a few panels that are missing out of the inside there that cover up inside here. Slide blade covers that go over this area here, and also on this side, the stainless steel cover on this side. The original ones will go back on here. Silly things like tailstock seals and things like that. You know, you've got to buy those genuine from Mazak. They're not cheap, but you have to buy them because of the actual profile shape. But just things like that, just giving it a good tidy up more than anything else, just making sure everything's just going to work as it should work. And just managing to get everything back in one piece, and then eventually get my Mazak guy to come down here, or the guy from John Hart. As I mentioned before, they're our dealer. Anyway, I think they are for a fair few countries. John Hart might be a familiar name for some of you guys, but different countries have different dealers. But in the Asian Pacific region, which is Australia's part of that, it's pretty much all John Hart from what I know. But I could be wrong. Tool turret, which is up on my bench, which is missing off there. You can probably just see the spindle sticking out. I'll get all that sort of things on as I have time. It's in between jobs. It's just hard to get time to get back to it now. When I first bought this machine, I was only making, well, I was probably only planned on, I should say, making 2 parts at the time. But as work's gone on, I've got more busy with manufacturing. I started out as a repair shop. There'll probably be a few videos in my channel as we get going with the videos, and I'll try and show you a bit of work that I do from time to time, and the type of different day-to-day work that could be interesting. I'll try and do a video about without being repetitive or too long, but try and keep the videos probably around the length of this one, possibly shorter, and anything that could be interesting for you guys to watch, and a few other things that I could probably share with you that might be interesting. And you guys can choose to watch or not watch as you like. So, but otherwise, that'll probably do for this video. I can't really think of much else. I just said a bit of a walk around video. As I say, we'll probably get around to do a bit of a workshop video. I'm pretty sure when we get Aaron finally down here around probably Christmas time. We're not far off from there, but we might try and organise something with Aaron to maybe. We were talking about it on Saturday when I dropped by to see him about possibly doing maybe a workshop video. We just brushed over the idea. We didn't go into it. But yeah, we might do something, do something there, show you a bit of a look around. Because he hasn't been here as yet. Just having time, I think both of us, he's busy and I'm busy, and it's just finding gaps in between to get it together. I suppose Christmas might be a good time for it. But otherwise, thank you very much for Aaron, and also thank you for those guys that are going to come around and watch my channel. Hopefully you get something out of it. If there's anything you want to ask, just get back to me in the comments. I'm happy to talk about most things, regards to machining, that is. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing you possibly in the next video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye for now.